This is a fresh pad sensor sheet from mpcstuff.com. I'm going to use this to fix the deteriorated pads inside this machine Mark III, or at least I hope I'm going to fix the pads. I'm going to open the thing up, replace the sheet, and see if that fixes my problem.
The quest for groove.
So that was just to illustrate the problem. This is a hi-hat pad that I use less often. It's my secondary hi-hat pad. This is the hi-hat pad that I must have hit 2 million times by now, and it just doesn't respond as well, or at least the higher velocities are harder to trigger. And that's something that I really notice when I'm playing, and I can correct for it. It's not like the pad doesn't trigger at all, but you have to work harder to make the hi-hat pad respond. And that was not the case when I bought this thing new. So I really hope I can get my fresh, well-responding hi-hat back by putting this sheet inside this machine. So let's open the thing up. Now I'm actually going to figure this out as we go along. I think the first step is to turn this thing upside down. Here we have the back, it's a bunch of screws, and also a sticker that says do not open, which means that of course now I have to open it because nobody's going to tell me what to do. So I'm going to peel off this sticker, step number 1. Okay, so instead of removing the sticker, I just destroyed it. And there's a little screw underneath. Get that one as well, otherwise the thing won't open. So that's screw number 1. And while I'm unscrewing all this, might as well tell you something awesome about myself, because I happen to be the sponsor of this video, me. I have a website, questforgroove.com, on which I teach finger drumming, which means playing groovy stuff on your pad controller in your home studio, which can be hugely beneficial for a lot of people. Maybe you're one of them, and if that's the case, then I suggest you take a look at some of the videos on this channel. I'm going to link to some cool examples of what you can do with a pad controller and just some simple drum software. And yeah, just keep in mind that on questforgroove.com I made all kinds of cool courses and lessons, and some of them are actually free. The beginner stuff is all free over there, so keep that in mind. Questforgroove.com, sponsor of this video, brought to you by me. And now that that's done, let's fast forward to the last couple of screws. I think we got it. So let's see if we can lift this thing up. Yes, it's working. Right, so the back comes off very cleanly. And over here we can see the circuit board. Yeah, my guess is that we're actually gonna have to unscrew every single screw that we see over here on this part of the device. Over here, I think we can leave all this alone because the pads are over here. So I think we need to find every single screw and get rid of that. Let me first see how tightly this is screwed in. Yeah, that's pretty firm. So it's not super, like I don't have to exert a lot of force to unscrew a screw, but I also don't have to leave it loose. It can just be in there pretty tightly. I think that goes for every screw, right? Yeah, so they're not super tight, but they're also definitely not loose. Let's unscrew every single one of these screws. You definitely want to pay attention to this little sucker over here. It's a little extra thing that we should not forget to put back. Don't know what this is, but we want to leave it intact, right? So over here, pay attention to that. And every time you feel like something's still stuck, there's another screw somewhere. It's never something that you have to start pulling like a crazy person. There's always some screw that you didn't see. You have to find that screw. And I think it's wise to decouple this sucker over here as well. I'm gonna be very careful with that. And then pulling this back. All right. Yeah, so that's the trick. So there's this little thing, this black thing. You push that out, and then you can take this thing out, and then you can probably just put it back like this. Okay, well, we'll figure that out later. I think that we got it now. Yep. This thing comes off. Let's just take the screws out. Okay, so now we have this. That's supposed to go back like this. Keep that on the side. That thing is loosened. I don't see any more screws. Remember this little thingy that we have to reattach that later. Now, yeah, let's also remove these two so that we can completely remove the circuit board. This is actually this takes some work. Like how? This is the first time I'm doing this, so I have to be super careful. The more experience you have with this, probably the easier it will become. But yeah, I think we got it. Ah, maybe remove this one first. Probably the same system, yeah. Same system. This one's loose. Now I can probably access that little thingy over here. Is this raised? This one still has to raise. Yeah, there it goes. So again, I'm not using any force here. It's always just being careful. And then, see, because this thing was a little stuck, which meant that I had to like lift this pin a little bit. Let me just line this out. So, and then, okay. Okay, so that one's loose, that one's loose, that one. I think we can now remove the circuit board or lift it. Let's see if that works. No, it doesn't. Okay, so I actually figured it out. You should just put your hands underneath the machine after releasing all the screws and then push on the pads a little bit on the other side, and then the thing just comes loose. So we did do it well. Okay, let's be very careful here. Right, put the circuit board on the side. Here we got ourselves the pad sensors, and here is the old pad sensor sheet. So the non-shiny side of this pad sensor sheet, so look on this side, it's actually more shiny. The non-shiny side touches the sensors, and if you look very closely, see if I can show you, you'll see that there's some sort of black residue on the sensors, which is the magnetic ink of the pad sensor sheet. So I hope that by cleaning the sensors and then getting rid of this sheet and replacing it with a new one, we're going to get a better response from the pads. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go use one of these little, I think it's a cloth to clean your glasses with, and just see if I can just use this cloth to rub off the dirty stuff off the pad sensors without any alcohol or anything. Maybe that already will be enough. So let me just see. I guess this is the safe option, right? You never know what type of sort of chemical or stuff can mess up the sensors. So if you can just clean them with a cloth, you're probably fine. And something that I also noticed, by the way, is that if you look closely at these are the old sensors. I don't think this shows on camera, but if I look at it really closely, I can see that some of the sort of the copper stuff from here actually also rubbed off on the pad sensor, so they rub each other both ways. That sounds dirty, but you understand what I mean, right? So first let's just do this. Maybe this is already enough, then we don't even need any rubbing alcohol, just a nice cloth. While we're at it, I might as well also clean up some of the dirt that's in here. I see a little bit of dirt. I don't think this is actually the problem, but yeah, I'm just gonna go get a little wet paper towel. Maybe I should just use the vacuum cleaner, actually. Yeah, so I think that was a good idea. That was pretty practical. Okay, now let's see what we can do with this new bad sensor sheet. Let me see if I... Yeah, okay, so it's a bit of a delicate balance here in order to how you... There's not that much room for each pad, so it has to fit perfectly before they actually move to the spot where they're supposed to be. There's a little edge here that seems to sort of come out. Probably don't want that. Yeah, so this looks good to me. And now, let's see what we can do with this. Ooh, that looks nice. So, here we go again. This is clearly the matte side. I don't know if you guys see that. Look at the black. And this is the shiny side. Right? So we want the matte side to touch the pad sensor sheet. So we want it like this, actually. The shiny side up. Look, so there's a little edge over here that's not squared off. I don't know if I can show you that. Is it visible? Don't really know. But this is not squared off. The same thing happens here. So we want... This is how it fits on. This is how we want it to fit. So the shiny side facing us, the matte side touching the pad sensors, which means it's like this. Right? Or am I nuts? Yeah, this is how it should be. Okay, great. There's little holes in there that should go around. Okay, yeah, there's also little holes that go in these little pins over here, I see. So, yep, it's a very delicate little construction. Something I noticed, by the way, there are these little pins, these pins over here. These pins, they actually need to go in here. So there's a little thing where they get plugged in. So when we put this thing back, we have to be very careful that we're actually injecting this in the exact right spot. And now I'm gonna see if I can align those pins, because I think that's what's gonna be the most difficult. See if it sort of guides itself. I'm not exerting any force right now. I'm really trying to make it find its own little spot again. Let's look at the bottom. Let's see if we can first get the knobs back to where they belong. See if we can make them so that they're actually coming out the other end. Try another angle. Fuck. My knees. Shit. I got it. So this is definitely the hardest part, where you have to be very patient and sort of don't use too much force, and then press it down when you feel like, yeah, this is like the Nintendo cartridge sort of feeling, right? Where it sort of clicks into place. I think I got it. So what we have to do now is we have to make sure we don't forget this thing. Put this one back, that one, and that one back, because we loosened those. So let's start with the big one. Put it in here. Oh. It has to probably stay back until we actually put it in. So I think I got it. And tighten. No, it really doesn't want to go any further. So I think this is it. Oh, we're gonna find out, right? When I fire it up. See if it worked. Okay, now this one, same story. So elevate. And put the thing in there. And then push down. Yep. Other one. Put the thingy in there. Bam. And see if we can click it into place. that works. Okay. And now we just gotta put back the screws. And let's just start by putting in this thing. Done. And now we gotta put back each and every one of these screws. So let's do that. This might not be the right one because as you can see, there's no screw icon on the circuit board. So I'm not gonna put the screw over there. Maybe that's for the screws at the back actually. So, all right, of course. And then we need this this little dude. Yeah, okay, so I think I got it. You have to put it like this. And then there is this sort of pattern, if you look closely, that makes it fit perfectly. So there's this little snout over here, and that actually corresponds with the holes that do not have a screw. So that's actually what they're for. Those ones are for this dude over here. Okay, 2 screws left. Let's search very carefully for spots where they might go. Oh, yeah, over here. Yeah, weirdly enough, there's some sort of a thingy here, but I remembered that there was nothing attached to it, so I can probably just put a screw in here like this. And then one more. Where are you? Oh, yes, got it. Over here in the back. Alright, so I think it's now time to put the back on. Moment of truth. Alright, it's turning on. That's good. This pad is not responding. That's not good. Not good at all. This is not the sensitivity that I was looking for. This is nothing. It seems to only be responding to like the softest of velocities. Let me just analyze the MIDI data here for a second. If we look at the MIDI data over there, you can see that it's super soft velocities only. I guess I have to open up this thing again and see if I can find a reason for this, or if it's actually just the quality of the pad sensor sheet. I hope not. I don't see anything that's obviously wrong with this, if I'm honest. So either I fucked up the pad sensors by rubbing them, or this pad sensor sheet just doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Okay, so now I'm just putting the old one back in. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, that doesn't sound very promising for the mpcstuff pad sensor sheet here, because damn, this is the old sheet. Geez, maybe I didn't even have to replace the pad sensor sheet, and I could just, you know, open it up and sort of vacuum it, and maybe that was already enough. Or of course the cleaning of the pad sensors, that might have already helped a lot. Okay, so now there's one more thing to do. I have another pad sensor sheet from mpcstuff, so I'm gonna get that one, put that inside the machine, and see if then we get the same problem, right? Where the pads don't respond well. Because if that's the case, then yeah, I guess we're screwed. Let's see what we can do. A new pad sensor sheet. Oh, let's hope this works. No. No. It's impossible to get loud velocities. And this is a completely new sensor sheet. So, okay. Let me first put back the original sheet that was in this thing. And then I have some thoughts. Okay, so a couple of thoughts. One, apparently just opening up your machine, cleaning the bad sensors, and just leaving the old bad sensor sheet in place already can do a lot. So that's great. Two, those mpcstuff replacement bad sensor sheets are apparently not working, at least not right now. But I must say that this is an old batch of mpcstuff bad sensor sheets. So I did notice that on their website they were sold out for a while, and now they have a new batch. Maybe those sensor sheets have improvements. I would like to invite mpcstuff to tell me more about that, or to reply in a comment, or send me new ones that are better if you have them. I would definitely test out if this stuff is working, because these sheets, I don't know, man. Seems like somebody got scammed. Maybe people at mpcstuff got scammed by somebody who claims to be able to make these and is actually just making crap. So yeah, I mean, guys, I love you, mpcstuff. I love you guys. The whole right to repair thing. You're the only resource that sells replacement parts, so I love you. But these suck, the ones that I got. Yeah, so with that said, don't buy the mpcstuff replacement sheets until I have an update on this, and I will definitely put that below or in the comments or wherever if there's some developments on this front. Keep in mind that questforgroove.com is the place to be if you ever want to learn finger drumming. And with that said, I'm wishing you a great day, and until next time.